guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever and I've missed you guys so much. I have got a ton of things to catch you up on, and I just want to apologize because my plan was to make videos for you guys, content like every 2 weeks, and I don't even know if I promised you that it would come every 2 weeks and broke that promise. But you know, sometimes there's a saying that says when you try and make plans, God laughs at your plans or something. So I had my plan and basically it didn't really work. As you can tell by the title, so much stuff has happened and I've got a lot to answer for because I've kind of left you in the dark for such a long time. But I can explain why and it will all make sense. So let's get into it. If you follow me on social media, you'll probably know that I'm still in Canada. And I know that originally I was here, so I've been here for now, what, like 6 months now. I was very vague in that video. I didn't exactly tell you the ins and outs because my mum always told me don't talk about things until they're actually, you know, happening. So it's not like I lied to you guys. I was technically visiting friends, but there was a bit more layers to that. I still want to keep it very private because I need to feel comfortable. You know, I'm a very private person and I feel like it's cool to be a mystery. But again, the point of starting this YouTube channel isn't to be private all the time. So I promise you guys, you're gonna get the full exclusive. But the main thing that I wanna let you guys know is that I would only move to Canada for 2 things. And that's either for my career or for love, or both. So you guys can decide like which one it is, if it's one or the other or both. And yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I don't know if you've noticed, but yes, I've got this wrist situation going on over here. I'm just gonna explain to you what exactly happened. When I tell you, my life, first of all, my life has always been like a comedy show. Honestly, if you guys knew the ins and outs of what goes on behind the scenes in my life, you guys would be like, no, can't make this thing up, like literally. So while I was in Canada, I was taking my acting classes and I was working on a few projects that were taking up like at least 16 hours a day. So because those things are really top secret, I wasn't able to like vlog what was going on, and it was kind of pretty boring just watching me, you know, on the computer or FaceTiming or whatever and doing what I needed to do for that. So that is one of the reasons as well why you guys weren't able to, while I wasn't vlogging as much. But outside of that 16-hour period, I was spending time with my friends and just going around the city and kind of getting to know this place. And during this time, the apartment that I was in only had a mirror that was, I guess, from like the shoulders up. Especially when you're my height anyway, at 5'3". I wasn't able to see what was going on with my body as such. So I'm just out here enjoying, discovering all the foods, discovering this place called Wendy's. And if you're watching this video and you're from here, then you'll know exactly what I mean. Now, I don't care what anyone wants to say, and I would love to debate this, but Wendy's has the best cheeseburger on the planet. It beats McD's, it beats, I don't even know. Name the burger places, and I'm telling you right now, Wendy's has got it. It wins all awards. And I was there almost every day. I was there every day enjoying it. I was enjoying Red Lobster. I'm sure if you go back, you can see like I was cooking anyway before then. So again, I'm just eating and enjoying myself. And then I started noticing, oh, so I'm really not fitting into my clothes. And this was around, and keep in mind, by this time, it hadn't even been 2 months that I've been here for. And I was just like, okay, why am I not fitting into my jeans? So here I go, I'm on all the, you know, websites, Pretty Little Thing. And I'm just like buying clothes that are just bigger and bigger and bigger. Because when I look in the mirror, my head and my shoulders, they look relatively the same. So I'm like, no, it's fine. And then it gets to a point now where I just feel really like it's a struggle to like walk, and my knees start to hurt. And I had like knee issues anyway because from a prior injury at the gym. And so I was like, this is just getting out of control. I wasn't really able to see myself. So I was enjoying not only just the sights, but basically every menu that Canada had to offer. was definitely enjoying everything that Canada had to offer. So as I started to gain weight, I started to feel really queasy, and I just tried to ignore the feeling. I tried to ignore it. I tried to kind of like drink some water, but it was every single time. Oh, and by the way, I discovered these crisps. You guys call them chips if you're Canadian or American, but there were these crisps, right? And what are they called? They are ketchup flavor or something, but they taste like our prawn and cocktail. Let me tell you, the bags were so big and I was blazing through those, and I feel like they were making me nauseous, but I kept going because it tasted really good, right? And long story short, all of this ended up with me having to go to the doctors because the nauseousness was out of control, and then my stomach started to swell, and I'm just like, what is going on? So I go to the doctors, and this is so TMI, I go to the doctors, and guys, the doctor was like, you know, what's been going on? Have you been using the toilet regularly? All this kind of stuff. A long story short, this doctor talks me into getting my butt checked, right? And the violation was real. Anyway, we did all of that just to find out that actually things were normal. So there was just that in itself. But then I had to go for an ultrasound, and all my test results came back normal. So I was okay, cool. So that violation, that was phase 1, okay? So a couple weeks later, I'm in the bath, and in this bath it has this like shower, right? So I'm over here, I'm just like, you know, I'm standing in it, I'm showering, and then I take a step forward, but there is like, the bath is slippery because of all the, you know, the shower gel. And so here I go, slipping at like 100 miles per hour. It happened so quickly. And in that moment, it happened so quickly, but in that moment, I instantly knew to try to like break my fall by bending my knees. So the way that my body went was kind of like to throw it back this way, and my head went back and then came forward. I landed on my knees and my elbow, right? And my jaw came slamming down, and I'm not kidding. Thank you, Lord. I was inches away from like my jaw being probably, God forbid, broken on the side of the bath. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so shocked and in so much pain that I couldn't even like scream. Thankfully, there was someone home. And again, that's just embarrassing, as like, you know, so here I am naked, just feeling like the size of Medea. And I'm out here getting carried into, you know, the bedroom. So this is the beginning of phase 2. So I am, as you can see, a chocolatey girl, but the fact that you could see bruising on me was crazy. I had red bruises everywhere, all over me. And it was probably like, maybe like a couple days later, my head starts hurting, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So of course, here I go to the doctors again, and I'm like, hey doctor, you know, my head's been hurting me. Then I have to go for another scan just to make sure that there's no like bleeding on or whatever. And you know, again, test results come, they're absolutely fine. He tells me to take aspirin. I'm like, that's fine. This is now phase 3. So about 10 days later, I noticed that my neck feels swollen, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is my neck swollen? And then I realized that like I've got these like scratches in the back of my neck, and I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, and why is there a lump and these scratches? And then I was thinking, let me jump on Google. So basically I start Googling, and I start looking at pictures that look exactly like my neck, and I'm like, have I got whiplash? Guys, I had whiplash. I had whiplash and I didn't even know. So here I go, back to the doctor's office. Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny. I go back to the doctor's office, and he's like, oh, hello again. Like, you know, so you've got whiplash. I'm like, yeah, I've got whiplash. I really feel it. He looks at it, of course, it's absolutely whiplash. So then I have to go to therapy. And by the way, by this time, I can't move my shoulder. I can't even go like this because my shoulder is so banged up. And also I'm starting to now develop a pain in the middle of my back, to which the person who's working on me, they can tell that there is like a sprain to the muscle or something. So right now, my knees are hurting me. I've got whiplash. I'm having these bad headaches and my stomach is huge. I'm not pregnant, and I feel really nauseous. And I've been diagnosed with a mild concussion. Now we move on to phase 4. I was sitting in the living room, and this is again maybe 3 weeks later, and by this time I'm still going for therapy twice a week for this concussion. So I'm still doing that. And then one night while I'm watching a movie, and clearly it was very funny because I laugh and I swing my head back, bang, and I hit the back of this sofa, and the sofa has this wooden thing in it, and all of a sudden the back of my head has a knot, has a bump in it, and I'm just like, this just is ridiculous. Of course, I'm now too embarrassed to go to the doctors because I feel like I'm fed up of seeing the doctor, and I feel like he's fed up of seeing me. He hasn't said it, but I feel like he goes home and talks about me to his wife at this point. So I'm just like, no, he's seen enough. Now we're pushing it, he's actually gonna think I have a crush on him, or he's gonna think that I'm harming myself, no joke. So I refuse to go to doctors, and I just put the ice on the back of my head, and then it's fine. And then a couple nights later, I am in bed and I roll off the bed and fall, but the way I fall, I bend my hand backwards, and it didn't really hurt at first, but within 24 hours, I could feel like there were things in my hand moving. And I was like, please don't tell me that I fractured my wrist. So here I go again at the doctor's office, and he decides, okay, so since your stomach is still, really big, and since this is all going on, why don't we just take a blood test and a urine test, and also get an X-ray on your hand, and also an ultrasound. So I go and I get the X-ray done on my wrist, nothing's broken, that's great. I get the ultrasound, and they see that there is an interruption in the muscle, and they feel like I could have sprained the muscle in my hand, or a ligament or something like that. So I get told that I need to wear this and I need to ice it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, my results come back, and guys, I can't make this up. The liver comes back as abnormal, and my kidneys come back as abnormal, and I was like, is this a joke? And then a few days later, I'm told that I'm pre-diabetic. What the heck? I was just like, is this an actual joke? And the funny thing is, guys, I know you're probably watching this and thinking, oh my God, she has really bad luck. I really don't. It's just that my life is a comedy show. I know I'm gonna bounce back from this. Maybe it's because I always see the glass, I keep saying this today, I see the glass half full always. So I think that, just instinctively, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm a woman of faith, we'll get over these things. But I was just at this point, even I'm starting to feel really exhausted by it. So of course, I called my mom, crying down the phone. And I was just I just cannot believe this is happening. And then I thought maybe just to give me some energy, because I was just feeling so tired all the time, let me get a B12 shot. And guys, all hell broke loose on my face. Acne face, queen. It's what in the spotted dick? No. The doctor also tells me that for my height, I was bigger than what I needed to be. And that's when I just decided to get really, really serious, because, okay, I make a comedy show about most things, but actually this is beyond what I personally feel, that I want to look like, or the clothes that I want to fit in. It's about being healthy. But I feel like this has just shown me that I have to get my act together. I have to get my shit together, because, I can't eat the way that I did maybe 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago. Clearly, there are more things, more hormones or whatever in the food over here. And even though I really felt at the time I was eating exactly the same things in the UK, experimenting here and there, okay, I was eating more than I was in the UK. But the point is that it wasn't crazily too different. But I really have learned, like, you know, you cannot play with your health. And this is a warning, especially if you're Black and watching this video, because in our community, being diabetic is just like second nature to most of us. So we need to really, really be careful of that sugar intake. I know in January I talked about, you know, doing intermittent fasting and things like that. And I did try that. And can I be completely honest? I was really unhappy. And I wasn't happy with the food. I wasn't happy. I was hungry all the time and I just felt really moody. And I just feel like if this is going to be a lifestyle, I need to be able to enjoy it and make changes that I actually like. So one of the things that I've started doing is I'm not doing any red meat. I just wanted to find the replacement dishes, healthy replacements. So now I'm doing chicken bacon or turkey bacon smoked, and I really, really enjoy that. I started with my personal trainer who I work with now 4 times a week. And even just then, I've been doing it now for a month, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been really, really hard. It's been hard because my body isn't reacting the way that it, you know, the way that it would before. I don't know if I mentioned to you as well that I was also, the doctor also told me that I had high cholesterol. So I tried to calm down on the amount of eggs that I have. And also I'm new to this egg white situation. But my trainer said there's not like any particular goodness in the egg whites and she wants me to eat the yolk. So I'm trying to, you know, balance is key. Let me show you the protein shake I use. It's got no sugar or anything like that, but there's another one called Protein and Greens. But yeah, it's either this one or the one that says Protein and Greens, but it's the same brand basically. So I definitely recommend that. By the way, this is not a paid ad, but if they see this video, holler at me. So I've also been getting acupuncture in my hand. I feel like maybe all these things were underlying health issues. Yes, I'm always gonna try and see things, you know, in a positive light. I think that Canada, for me, has been really good outside of that. And guys, do you know what else I found out? That Canada was the place that the slaves escaped to. They would actually travel on the Underground Railroad, and they would travel, I think like from places like Mississippi, just to get freedom. And it's so funny because the one thing when people say, oh, how's Canada? I'm just like, you know, it's really freeing. I can just be free here. Do you know what I mean? Guys, I walk down the street looking busted and there's not one person that's gonna be like, isn't that cute? You know, honey, if you see me walking down the street here, you'll be like, what the hell happened to her? Outside of the comedy show and the drama, I really have had like the most amazing time. Definitely, there's no place like home, like the UK, of course. But there are a lot of similarities which, you know, make me feel like I've got my home comforts as such. Today, outside of just recording this video, I've actually had quite a full morning. I've had several Zoom meetings in the UK. So I had to be up at like 4 o'clock this morning. So yeah, once I get my next Zoom call done, I'm gonna go and run some errands, and then I'm gonna go and work out with my trainer. And yeah, you guys are gonna come along with me. Okay, so I thought I was gonna have time to basically take my makeup off, but I'm in a rush and I can't. So all I had time for is literally to change, put my hair in this situation, and I now need to go and catch my train. Guys, I really need to buy some running trainers, like some proper ones. These are from 1901 when I was hiking in LA. And when I came here a few years ago, I left them here. So this is what we're doing. One thing I will say, I'm really enjoying the new butt of it all. Let's go. When bruises got me down, then I get turned around. I tend to cut myself off from things I shouldn't run from.
the back, wanting things that I lack. Sticking to your boy, is there something you enjoy? Publicity and insecurities. Just wanna be me. It's my need to be free.